I'm going to tell you a story about one of the most important actors in Hollywood history, except none of you will have heard of him, and that's not just because you're stupid. His legacy was nearly buried by the very studio heads whom he had made millions. His place in history is so important that if you take him out of it, you lose actors like Bob Hope, Charlie Chaplin, and Buster Keaton. He was, at his height, the most famous actor in the world. He was the first to secure a $1 million contract. But all of this fades into insignificance, for he is remembered for something far more sinister: the rape and murder of a young Hollywood starlet. Except he was innocent. So who was this man? Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle. Onward! Roscoe's early life is a heartbreaking tale. His mother passed away when he was 12. By this stage, his father, who would beat him daily, had moved away to set up a hotel. In 1913, Arbuckle joined Keystone as a Keystone cop. Over the next 8 years, he rose through the ranks until he became the highest paid actor in the industry. In 1921, Roscoe was celebrating the move from two-reelers to features and took a trip to San Francisco for the weekend. During this time, prohibition had taken hold in America, but it was still fairly easy to secure alcohol. And Roscoe was, putting it mildly, a bit of a rummy. News of his arrival prompted a massive party. He was, at this point, pretty much the biggest star in America. In fact, at nearly 300 pounds, the fat bastard was literally the biggest star in America. 3 rooms were hired at the St. Francis Hotel, and the party started. Unfortunately, a couple of unwelcome guests gatecrashed: Maud Delmont and Virginia Rapp. Despite several attempts to get rid of them, Rapp and Delmont were getting seriously out of control. Rapp was vomiting and seemed to have a seizure. Roscoe made the mistake. Roscoe made the mistake of taking her to his room to look after her. Things got worse for Arbuckle when she was taken to hospital, as Delmont started accusing him of violating her. 3 days after the party, she died of a ruptured bladder. Roscoe was now a pariah. The studio heads abandoned him. The Christian morality groups called for him to be executed. Rumors had spread like wildfire that Arbuckle, who was impotent, had raped her with a Coke bottle. Originally, the story was champagne bottle, but it was far cheaper for the heckling crowds of demented half-wits to throw Coke bottles at him than champagne. But here are some actual facts. Rapp, in her brief conscious moments between the event and her death, never implicated Arbuckle as raping her. Sausage roll, suit yourself. Also, Rapp had had a series of abortions. Illegal in that day and age, and it is suspected she caught an infection after a very recent botched job. One other vital fact was seemingly kept from the public. Arbuckle's chief accuser, Maud Delmont, had a long criminal record with convictions for racketeering, bigamy, fraud, and extortion. In the early 30s, Roscoe's career seemed to be on the up again when Jack Warner, one of the Warner brothers, gave him a chance to star in front of the camera again in a series of what became very successful shorts. The public loved Fatty again. Arbuckle was celebrating his first wedding anniversary to his 3rd wife when he got the call that Warners were preparing a contract for him to star in a series of features. Oi, greedy! Later that night, at the age of 46, he tragically died of a heart attack. He was famous for being a fat buffoon, a fact that embarrassed him greatly. He hated being called Fatty. His friends called him Roscoe. But here's something that's kept me awake at night. What if, in fact, he was guilty of killing and raping Virginia Rapp? What could possibly have made him do something like that?